So we do want to get to something we just got in from the FBI here in the newsroom. It's in a statement. It's confirming the death of the suspect, which we kind of already knew, but I want to read this to you. It says, this morning an individual drove a car into a crowd of people on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, killing a number of people and injuring dozens of others. The subject then engaged with local law enforcement and is now deceased. Now pay attention to this part. The FBI is the lead investigative agency, and we are working with our partners to investigate this as an act of terrorism. So there we hear that word again.
Yeah, and that is a point of interest here, because when we did have the press briefing at around 6:30, 6:45, Special Agent Duncan, who is leading the investigation, did say clearly that this was not an act of terrorism. And so we then had a conversation about whether the language was conflicted there. But in this statement from the FBI, it is saying again clearly that this is being investigated with their law enforcement partners as an act of terrorism. Also to that statement, while the FBI does say that the subject, direct quote here, then engaged with local law enforcement and is now deceased, that statement stops short of saying exactly how that person died, whether that person died amidst that exchange of gunfire with law enforcement, and also which officer from which agency potentially fired the shot killing this person. So again, law enforcement being very careful with the language that they are using, but the FBI does confirm, as we've told you through our sourcing here too, that the suspect here, the driver of the truck, did engage in a shootout, shot 2 officers, and is now dead himself.